Hello everyone. We're going to be looking at my Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber hilts. Um, all three of these are from Roman Props. Um, the first one that you see here is sold out. This is the Inception Elite. Both of those are still available. This is the MK1 and that's a newer one called the Mashup or Buried Hope. The front one, the Inception, is based on the Revenge of the Sith appearance. MK1 is the classic A New Hope, and the new Buried Hope is based on the Kenobi series from Disney Plus. So let's just kind of compare them a bit. This first one, I haven't done any work to it at all. There's no weathering whatsoever because this is how it appeared in the movie. There is another version of this, not by Roman, but by SP Props, with a dark brown neck. This is dark brown, and this whole neck is also dark brown. And there's some debate as to which is the more sort of accurate one. But I think from what I've seen, is both of them are accurate. They're just used in different scenes. So this is the one primarily hung on his belt. With kind of the shinier copper neck, whereas the one with the all dark brown neck is seen in the scene when he's pulling it towards him when he's fighting Grievous. So it may be a stunt, it may be a hero, there's some debate. But either way, I mean, this is based on the MR appearance. So it's got a shiny chrome emitter with a vented top there. Yeah, copper neck, anodized black grenade. The classic appearance of the Revenge of the Sith hilt. Not much to be said about this. It is a very beautiful and elegant design. It's a shame it's sold out. I know a lot of people are still really keen to get their hands on this. There are some other makers of this hilt model. You know, there's the OWK 3, I believe, by 89 Sabers, which is not as accurate, but it comes pretty close. And there's a few others as well that are pretty good. If you're having a lot of trouble finding the Inception and no one's selling it, then you can certainly find something close enough. So this is Revenge of the Sith, obviously, and this is Kenobi, which looks very much like it. In fact, Roman used the same, all of this from the emitter down. The whole body is leftover Inception kits, and now he's remaking them. But he's not making the new balance pipe, which is a shame. The balance pipe used on this one is the same one that's from MK1. So that's the only difference, is it's got an MK1 emitter and the whole body is Revenge of the Sith. It will come weathered, unfortunately, so, well, not unfortunately, but it means that you can't kind of make your own Revenge of the Sith from it, because it will already come with this weathering on the grenade and on the booster. But for the Kenobi show, that's obviously accurate. What I did with this is I went a step further and added some more weathering just to match the prop seen on screen. So I did a little bit of weathering on the emitter there. I sanded down, so there's sort of a dark band in the middle. I sanded down here on the neck to expose a little bit of brass underneath, and this as well. And I sanded down on top of the wind vane, in the middle, and underneath the wind vane. All of these areas have been sanded down and applied brass black, as well as here, and that seems to match the reference photos. I added some rust. This is all genuine, real rust in between the grooves of the grenade there. From what I've seen, that picture when he opens the box and it's his lightsaber and the graphics next to it, there's clearly some rust in the grooves here and here. So I went ahead and rusted that. I don't know how much the camera's going to be able to pick it up. The lighting here isn't great, but there is a little bit of rust in between the grooves of the booster. And clearly here you can see it in the grenade, and that's real rust. I didn't use any paint because I just don't like how it turns out. If you could do it with paint and have it look natural, that's great, but I'm not very skilled with paint, so I prefer using real weathering or chemical weathering when possible. I didn't do anything on the clamp at all. It's still shiny and brand new, just like the Revenge of the Sith. Same on the pommel, I didn't do anything. I'm still going back and forth. I've seen some people kind of take that down a little, pull back the shine with some like wire roll and stuff over here too. Add some aluminium black. They look great. I just can't make up my mind whether I want to do it or not. I think it would match the aesthetic more if it was weathered, and it would make sense, because there's no way he has this in the box for years and it's got so rusty and beat up over here, whereas these bits are shiny. That wouldn't make sense. So I feel like I want to do it, but part of me is hesitating because the pictures I've seen of it on the show, they're shiny. So I'm not sure. I'm not yet decided. And last but not least, the MK1, the A New Hope version. Obviously I've done other videos on this to go through it in detail, so I won't be talking much about that because I've extensively weathered this top to bottom. There's literally not a part of this that has not undergone some modification, you know, from here with the Dremel to weathering over here. I bent this up. You see here it's bent. The grenade has been rusted. Again, this is all real natural rust. Same in the booster. You can clearly see some rust here between the fins of the booster. I think this is the only part that I didn't do anything to. The pommel. Actually, you know, I did that scratch that you can see in the Chronicles picture. The clamp is where I did the most work. Obviously, added the tape, bit more weathering. The pins here on both sides, the brass screws, one over here, and then just did a whole lot of rusting. You can see here. I really like how it turned out. Yeah, extensive rusting here. After seeing videos from Iron Destiny props and other users in the community, gathered a lot of reference pictures from the Chronicles props, and I just went ahead and did the whole thing all over again because I wasn't happy with how it was in the beginning. But yeah, this is also Roman props basically. All of these are empty, none of them are installed at the moment, but all of them can be installed. Even my MK1 is the FX version. It's not the static with the solid bit inside, so technically it could be installed. All of them can be, but I don't plan on doing that for this one because it's just so weathered. I wouldn't really feel right swinging it around, and I might just damage some of this. I just worked too hard on it. Again, this, I don't know if I will or won't, but if I do install one, it'll probably be this one. The trouble with thin necks is obviously always such a short distance for the blade to sit in that they always sort of wobble and feel unsteady. So it'll probably be a recessed blade, so it sits in like that on the cup, and then the PCB kind of goes higher up. The Desert Wander by Corbanth and KR Sabers, I've seen it, it looks amazing. It's almost identical to this. Honestly, I've seen pictures side by side. The differences are so subtle, you'd really have to like zoom in. You know, some of these have a slightly different shape. That groove there is like a deeper cut and it's slightly different shape. Things like that, you know, that over here, this one is maybe perhaps a bit more rounded in the end, the end cap. KR's is a bit more like square, but you can't tell. You really can't tell. From like a first glance, they look the same. The advantage of the KR is it's ready to install. There's even a chassis out for it, so it's good to go. This one doesn't have any chassis yet that I know of. The problem with the KR is that it's been designed to have a little metal kind of sleeve stick out this way to like reinforce the blade and hold it in. And that sounds like a great idea, except, you know, when you put the blade in, there's going to be this little piece of metal sticking out that doesn't look right. And to me, that just puts me off a little bit. But it will work. So from a practical point of view, it's probably the better option. You know, it's going to give you a nice steady blade. You could probably do even a bit of light dueling with it. Whereas with this one, even a recessed blade is going to be very sensitive. You can only do a little bit of light swinging. So yeah, it's up to you. If you want the KR, you know, I'd still strongly recommend it. It's just as good as this, honestly. The two are like a tie. The 89 Sabers is also very good. It's not as good as the other two, but it's still very good. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly show the difference between the three hilts, which are technically in canon, obviously the exact same hilt from Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi was using the same lightsaber. It just went through kind of different iterations and slight variations with the prop design between the three features. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.